Remember, you got to do that with.
Well, this has started off very chaotic, but that's this brand in a nutshell. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night for this week's Spy X Family, where we certainly dodge the possibility of having a normal recording as usual.
But it's still elegant.
Yeah, and it's certain the ball is in the right corner as of right now, at least. Okay,
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
and but yes,
I love how
this.
we're both named as inanimate objects in this one.
I mean, why not? And as the whole as Brandon's nickname is alluding to, well, this episode is all about a match of a dodgeball match between two classes, and boy, is it hilarious!
Yes.
And I have to say that they have extended on this bit phenomenally in this one. In the manga, it's only they just jump to that match and have just a brief in the whole. You get the Stella if you become the MVP. That's about it, and I think just the sheer training montage that Yor has with Anjar, that Damien has with his friend is just pure gold. And I just love the imagination in particular where Damien have with his friend when they do all the kinds of stuff that they imagine that they climb a high mountain, but it's just in the what's it called in English? Playground. They're just climbing on the around in the playground, and when Damien stopped quote unquote energy ball, the background looked like it's supposed to be from Namek as a
Yo,
an,
when I saw
uh,
that,
an
I
as
lost my
a
mind. I
as
was
a
like,
nod
why
to
is he?
Dragab.
Yeah, I was like, why is he on Namek? Why?
And which made me just chuckle out loud, and it just the whole idea of yeah, the whole idea of I mean, and also Journey to realize that she's inhumanly strong.
I thought we
I
knew
mean,
this. I thought we knew this already.
yeah, I mean, yeah, we knew that, but she needs to realize that because when she throw that ball, if she wants to know that she wants to be subtle with Anya and Lloyd about being not being suspicious, then she shouldn't just use all her power or how much of her power she really used and just demolish several trees with a simple dodgeball. Didn't even one of them break down in half?
Yes. Yes, it was
Yes.
amazing. What
And
I loved about this is the whole training montage that everybody did. It was like, is that I gotta ask, is all that in the book or is that like
nope,
here?
it's
Oh,
extended.
I love that. I love all that. I love the fact that
Yeah,
you kind of get the Rocky vibes and
yeah.
the humor is so great. Um,
like I said, the whole thing with the dodgeball started in the match, and then the only thing that's really outside of it is when Anya speak with Lloyd about potentially getting a star if she's an MVP.
Right.
That's so. But I think they added something phenomenally that just felt like it could be in the manga.
Yeah. It was just great. It was just great. It was great. It was funny. It was simple. It was cute. I mean, it was just great. I loved every
Then
minute of it. And I like the whole reference up to Rocky. I love the whole thing about everything being outlandish and over the top excessively. Like that moment when you go to Damien and his friends. I'm not Damien, Desmond and his friends. Is it Damien? No, it's Damien. Desmond is the last name, I think, is right. So
yeah, it's the last name Desmond.
so they go to Damien, and they're all talking about um, beating the MVPs or whatever, and suddenly we see this montage, and apparently they're climbing a freaking mountain,
Yeah,
like
like
from
I
Mission,
said.
like from Mission Impossible 2, and when they fall, they're actually in the playground, and it was like. And then you have the whole like Namek sequence, and I'm like,
Yeah,
why is he a Namek? Like it's, and I like the fact that it's a way of them playing around with the idea of kids having imagination. It's like our version of going into their world, similar to how we go into Anya's mind. So I like the fact that they were able to explore that with different characters. And it was just brilliant. It was brilliant. It was funny. It was simple. It was cut and dry. It was just a tons of fun. Tons of fun.
can we also mention that I call bullshit on a certain growth on one of the students?
Bro, I'm gonna say this. There has been people or kids that have been stupid strong like that. Like it has happened. And that's kind of like what they're alluding to. Um, but it's fun. It's just fun.
Because I remember when I read them, I have read the current chapters that exist a couple of times, and I remember rereading, was I reading that for the first time, and just, what the hell? Okay. And also the fact that he also, I know we talked about it earlier, but in the, I believe it's into 2 episodes ago. Now it just yet again just shows that Despen is at least somewhat connecting with Anya more than he wants to
Yeah.
admit, considering he.
It's kind of like a love. It's kind of like a first love kind of vibe, kind of.
Yeah, considering he gives up the chance of being the MVP to save her.
And he
Uh,
couldn't control himself.
yeah,
It was a my hero moment. That was his Deku moment. My body just moved.
yeah, right, dude.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
just find, and the fact that she managed to dodge almost every ball just because she can read minds, and just, how does she know? How can she?
Yes. Yes.
And then,
And I love the fact that the whole thing about she's doing it and she's just doing it out of fear. Like it's not even like she's determined to do it. And then she falls because she trips over her own feet. I mean, it's cute. It's freaking Anya. It's amazing. It's all. Oh, and by the way, she was supposed to become this elite player in a week, which we all know. Like, yeah, that's not gonna work.
yeah, but that's the show in a nutshell, and being so, what's the word? Overly dramatic
Yeah,
in some
and
aspect.
this one more than others. I think this episode, because it was an Anya centric episode, was up over the top more than usual. I would say, like more animated. And I like that because we're following a story that has to do with her and the way that she views the world. So it kind of feels like we're seeing the show through her eyes because she's the focal point of the story. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I actually like the fact that this was an Anya centric episode, since last episode was a Lloyd and Yor episode. So I like the fact that we're able to move around to these different corners of the show and of this world, and dive into it in ways that are very enjoyable. And I also like the fact that we're starting to get like little glimpses of what the storyline or what are the story beats that we're going to be exploring, like with Damien, like the whole thing about his tragic family story, and like he's kind of like the kid that has everything but doesn't have what he wants, right? And like he doesn't have his parents around anywhere, like he's lonely. And like I like the fact that we're going to explore that, because one of the things that I like about Damien is that you kind of like, yes, is it a typical anime stereotype character? Yes, but if done right, it's always satisfactory. And I like the fact that when we see him being a dick, now we kind of get a background of why he's being a dick. Like like that's the role that he's choosing to play, as opposed to him just being a dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
Like there's more to the character than meets the eye, which I mean, it's a trope for the show, which I think it's great. So,
it also just proves the point that money isn't everything,
right,
so to speak.
right.
Maybe I'm a bit more sentimental than what people will think when it comes to this is a simple action comedy show, but I
Isaac,
think, yeah,
I think what you're saying is elegant.
yes, but it also it makes sense that this was more quote unquote anime, and then the last episode, because like you said, it's an Anya focus. It's a kid focused
Right,
episode.
right,
It should be more larger than life because of children's imagination.
right. And
And
you go ahead.
so that's why yes, the whole details about Damien fantasizing of what they are doing during the trainings um, is just cute and makes a ton of sense.
No. I also
So
I also like the fact that they made the decision to not pursue putting Lloyd back in the school to figure out stuff, because I like how the showrunners, of course it's in the book, right? But like you
yeah,
said, they're taking their liberties to expand and make it better, right? Not to take away, but I like the fact that they didn't recycle the whole thing about Lloyd finding his way into the school to kind of like figure stuff out. You know what I mean? Like they're
yeah.
being very careful to not retread all terrain, and like literally make it a point to say, "Oh, I'm not getting involved because I agreed to let your handle this." And I like that. I like that because
which
it's
just
not a,
which all just shows yet again that they are becoming closer than
right.
he wants to admit, because
It's part of the
he
progression from the last episode to here. Like there's that connection and that through line. But also I like the fact that it was a story decision. Like it wasn't like, oh no, Lloyd's just not going to be a spy today. You know what I mean? Like they made it a story decision, which I like, which makes everything and all the turns, all the decisions a lot more organic. And I think that's what I like about this show the most. Everything feels organic. Yes, are there things that are supposed to be on the nose? Absolutely. But everything feels organic. It flows. It makes sense. It's enjoyable. It has a reference from something before, or it's something new that doesn't come out of nowhere that makes sense. You know how when you have sometimes shows make the mistakes of 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 introducing an idea through a character that it doesn't make sense for the character to introduce that thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that kind of ruins the flow of the story. They're not doing that. Everything is like on brand and fitting, and I think it's just great.
Yeah. But like I said before, it's yes, it's sort of like a fill-in because it's not in the manga, but I dare say that it's written to the point that I wonder if the mangaka was part of the production for this episode because it feels so streamlined. It's sort of it's like I mentioned before, many times before, the whole in Attack on Titan, the whole them training to become scouts isn't in the manga,
Right.
yet it feels like it could be something that is in the manga. If
Right.
you haven't read the manga, and before you watch the anime, you might be it's to the point that you might be surprised. But wait, where's that part?
Right.
Sort of like that, and
And it kind of like it kind of it kind of reinforces this whole argument of Isayama wanting to make the anime the definitive version, right?
yeah. So and it's just the whole thing, like we said, also with Lloyd saying I can allow Yor to take care of this.
Right.
Just another, like I said, he pre this quote unquote relationship, he wouldn't allow anyone to do something for him.
Right.
He would just no, I fixed it. No, I fixed it.
Right.
I mean, just he was skeptical of even adopt someone in the first place.
Right.
And I remember thinking of return Anna just to infiltrate the school in some other fashion. But now he is trusting both of them, and I'm just face it, buddy, you're a dad and a partner now.
Yep. So great. So great. I don't know, man. I think for the type of episode that it is, I've spoken enough. I've said enough. How do you feel?
It's not. It's a episode that doesn't doesn't. Not a lot happen, but at the same time, a ton happen. If that makes sense, a very condensed episode.
Yeah, and a lot happens for the characters that are primarily involved, because you got to think nothing really happens for anyone else, right?
Yeah.
Like, but it was a big stepping stone for the people that are involved. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is pretty much what I would just retread the new old grounds in if I continued. So, well, where can people find you, buddy?
You can find me at the Scarlet Fan 52 on Twitter, at the Scarlet Fan 52 on Instagram. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you can find my work at Wubam Entertainment, and you can find my work at Blominic on Twitter. Have it awesome, everyone.
Peace.